Josh, this week we are highlighting the great work done by the United Way and their partner organizations. Today we are putting the spotlight on the Latino Community Development Agency. Joining me now is Dr. Raul Font, President and CEO of the LCDA. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Doing very, very well. Excited to talk to you about LCDA and what you guys do. For those that aren't familiar with the Latino Community Development Agency, tell us more about your organization.
Well, this organization started 31 years ago due to a need of services to a community that was pretty non-existent. And today, as you all know, and you've seen the census, 23% of the population is Latino. And that's crazy to think that that's as big as we are here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, certainly a growing demographic here. Can you talk about the programs? Give us a rundown of the programs that you offer to the community.
You bet. Very unique. We have 26 programs in our building. We pride ourselves to be that agency that you walk in and you have a total wraparound. Unfortunately, we strive with what a lot of people think that it's the bad things that happen in this community. I mean, we have all the programs that are social in need. Mental health is our major programs. All of these programs are serviced by our staff. That is 55 of them are counselors, therapists that work on any type of mental health, domestic violence, sexual assault, sexual abuse. But we also have some very servicing programs, like we have a pediatric clinic, we have 2 child cares. We also have a senior center. We strive in working with the adversities that everybody else has, including the Oklahoma City Public Schools with their kids. So we have, and now we're going to go into, with Sunbeam, which is another United Way organization, into, programs that nobody else wants to talk about, which is pretty sad.
Can you talk about the impact and just how important it is to have these services available in the community? If it wasn't for your organization, how would things look around here?
Well, it's going to be very scary to say that we are the only organization that not only serves the Latino community, that they even trust. So, it's all about trust. And so they expect us not only to work any type of service that they need, but they also want us to be their advocates. They always want us to be their voice. And so it's a very challenging organization to lead, because as they grow, we have to grow with the community. And unfortunately, our partners and our leaders in our political and our community don't realize how fast this community is growing. And if we don't take care of them now, that is going to be a hindrance in economic development in the future.
Do you have any anecdotes or any examples of just the impact that this has had on people in the community? Have you interacted with any families and people out there that just appreciate what you do?
Yes. So I'm going to give you a great story very quickly. There's a gentleman, and I know he doesn't mind me telling his name. It's Willie Morales. He was a terror in the community back in the days of middle school. This story very well. He was brought into Santa Fe South Charter. We wrapped around him on a program called Latino Leaders. This gentleman today works for Boeing. He's an aeronautic engineer. And it was because that turnaround, that giving them samples, excuse me, of what leaders look like and put them in front of successful people. And that is one of our biggest programs. And we actually have 3 of our board members went through the Latino Leadership Club. And I could sit down here and tell you stories after stories about the impact with the COVID and the impact about families that had nothing, that came here with nothing. And today, not only are they prosperous, they now also give back, which is what we want them to do.
And an endless amount of success stories here, which is good to see. So I mentioned off the top here, you're a partner agency of the United Way. What does that entail?
Well, for us, it's even bigger than anybody else. We exist because of the United Way. Back in the days, in the 90s, I, with a group of other leaders, decided that we needed to get some type of agency that served primarily the Latino community. We petitioned $42,000 to the United Way. And today we're a $4 million organization still supported by the United Way. And the funding that's given by you, the people that support the United Way.
Yeah, so the impact of the United Way has been huge here. Just how can people get involved if they want to help further your mission, if they want to help further help people in the community? What can people that are watching this right now do?
Well, right now we are at a location in the south side, but 405-236-0701 is our line. We have a receptionist there. We have people coming in, does volunteer work. We have people that come in and would like to be part of a specific program because it touches their lives. Some of the businesses decide that they want to have some of their people come and do volunteer work and do community service. We are here for that as well. We do after school programs. We coordinate with the YMCA, food bank. So if they think that there's any way that they would like to give to the community, and we don't serve only Latinos, we serve anybody that walks through our doors. They just need to contact us again at 236-0701, and we will get them involved.
All right, so many ways to get involved here. Dr. Raul Font with the LCDA. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us about your amazing organization.
Well, you have a good day. This is my little cup that was in Puerto Rico. That's my hometown.
I love to see it. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your time.